look at that. This is York Street in the city, 41 York Street to 11. And that straight up there is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Now, unfortunately, I've got my cup of coffee in my other hand. And as I said, look how quiet it is. Now, if anybody doesn't know, I used to be a cab driver, so these are my old taxi driver pants. And when I was here, driving a cab many years ago in Sydney, right here on this road here, where that white van is, there's a hotel there that's called the Menzies. It used to be called the Menzies. I don't know what it's called now. 25 years ago. So about my croaky voice, I don't have the bug or anything. I just have a croaky voice. I think it's because I'm getting old, but anyway. So this is what it's like here now. Out of Sydney. It's just very, very quiet. And there's people walking around, going to work and from work. Now, anybody who's not familiar with Sydney, and this is somewhere else around the world, what they did in Sydney, we had George Street. Now, we all know King George of England. Well, George Street, Sydney, was the main street. And it was 3.21 kilometres long. Anyway, or something like that. So what the government did is that they closed it down as a road and they made it as a big tram thoroughfare. And there goes the tram. And that's exactly what they did. So these beautiful old buildings are down here that you can see from the early days. Big old beautiful sandstone buildings. Used to be polluted by cars all the time. And if you look at them, you can sort of see the exhaust fumes on them. Because if you look at clean sandstone, it's lovely and clean. And this is where we used to have a gutter. See, you can picture it. There's a dip. And that's where the gutter used to be. And this is rows and rows of cars. There's a tram stop. And here's the crossovers. And this is what they built. And that there, that big beautiful building there, is the old Sydney Post Office building, Australia Post Office. And up there's a lovely Queen of England sitting up there. And there's the clock. And now that's been turned into a hotel and restaurants, and because Australia Post doesn't do what it does anymore like it used to do. So this is just a look at some of the buildings here in Sydney. This is actually called Martin Place. This is the one where I took the videos of the Christmas tree. And there's our clock. And you can see everybody's keeping their distance. And we'll go for a walk up here. And for all our Anzacs, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. And this is just a monument. The Council of the City of Sydney was opened for pedestrian use Martin Place was opened up 10th of September 1971. Lord Mayor Sydney Alderman Emmett Meadowmott. Oh, sorry. McDermott, sorry. Martin Place Committee, whatever. There you go. You want to read that? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? This is our Lest We Forget Memorial. And some idiot one day broke the blade off that. And they caught him because there's security cameras. See? It's still like our Memorial Day. We have Anzac Day. Lest we forget. There she is. There's the old girl. What? Says an Englishman. What? The old girl? Yes, we all love the Queen of England. It's Queen Victoria actually. It's not Queen Elizabeth. That's Queen Victoria. And that is in 18 something. I just can't quite see it. I'll zoom it back down and tell you what it is. I've got to move away from it a bit. Their hands up there, the two people are blocking it. 1880, could be 1887 I think. Yeah, 1887. There we have, we've got a great big crane up there in the middle of Martin Place. That's doing something. There's our famous ANZ Bank. And all these big, lovely old buildings. And there's a Colonial Mutual Life building. All that sandstone there, I believe originally all come from Parramatta. When they first started building Sydney, a lot of sandstone come out of Parramatta or up from near Mount Victoria. Because up there at the Three Sisters, that's all sandstone. And this is just going to give you an idea of the Centrepoint Tower. And this is the sort of architecture you don't see anymore. I'll see if I can put my little lunch down here without losing my lunch. See if I can zoom in on the top of that building. Let's have a look. See, people don't look anymore upwards. All those columns and the way they built the sandstone. This reminds me of something like out of a Batman movie, you know, we see Gotham City. There are a few tourists around, but I think they're more like locals, or because we've got no real tourism coming in from overseas unless they've already been here. And yes, we have a walking man. And a lot of these news agency kiosks, they've been shut. Commonwealth Bank of Australia. There you go, look at that one. Anybody know what the Commonwealth Bank was? It's the Commonwealth. A lot of people don't realise, actually, the Commonwealth Bank was actually originally started down there at the Rocks. A big sandstone building there next to the wharves. When the first ships used to come in, sailing ships back in 1802 and all that. And there's a guy down there and I can't think of his name. I'm getting old. And he ran the store building, you know. And farmers are bringing their crops and potatoes and from the Hawkesbury, from Windsor and Richmond. And other people come in there. Now you're talking about a population of about 400 people, right? Up to 1,000. Not to what it is today. This is when we first settled Australia. And he basically started the first bank. He'd buy the crop off you and put the money on the account in his business. And then later on, it was eventually bought out by the Commonwealth government, and then they called it the Commonwealth of Australia Bank, and then they changed it to banking, Commonwealth Bank, and then and also the Australian Commonwealth. Now this is one here for a new one on me. This is Martin Place and the MLC Centre. Well, this old building over here, that's gone. So get on Google Earth, you want to have a look. Ah, now I see what's going on. This is the new part of the Underground Railway that's coming through from North Sydney. It comes from Schofields. See, we used to have trams in Sydney. Yeah, look at that old tram, look at that. See, there's a memorial we just looked at. Right, so that's how old that is. That's the cenotaph back in the 1950s, so that's 70 years old. And look what's there behind it. That's right. Look at the old car, look. Is that planted up? The old mud guards. Anyway, well, this is going to be site of 31 metro stations. This is that new driverless train. So what they've done, they've knocked down the building. This is going to be one of the stations. It's going to go over the top or underneath the railway line from Town Hall Martin Place to King's Cross. And this is where it comes in from North Sydney. And it comes in underneath the harbour. So I'll see if we can get a crack on the wall here. We'll put the camera through it. I'll do it this way, I'll put it up over the top. So there you go. I can't even see what's down there. I won't be able to see that till I get home. So there's quite a Hunter and George, so that's up there behind me. Anyway, I just thought you'd like to see that. And just up here is Martin Place Railway Station, where the orange sign is. Want to have another look? Let's have another look. The world must go on. So that's what's happening in Sydney today. And so we've got a countdown clock on the walk. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I made it. Anyway, that's it there from Mr. Hominoid. There's Channel 7. And there's Martin Place. And that's Parliament House and Sydney Hospital and all that. So I hope you walked around. And there's the Link Cafe, which is where we had that terrorist attack. There's the big balls over there on the ground, same as these. My joke was I made out of chocolate. Anyway, so bye for me. See, the men from Mars. Alright, I'll give you a quick zoom. I'll let you see what it is. When I say the men from Mars, people think I'm talking about Mars. No. So the name on the crane is the men from Mars, M-A-R-R-S. I think it's a good name. What do you reckon? Anyway, lovely blue skies. What's that song? Blue Sky? Anyway, you can sing it. So there we go, from Channel 7, Martin Place in Sydney. From Mr. Homeroyd. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and a like. If you like to see what's going on in Sydney, down under. And people are coming back. So I don't know how your country's going, but we held our own and we've had no new victims, patients. So, but we're still going to be isolated, I believe, till the 2021. So that's the way it is. It's just the way it's going to be. Now you can notice all the push bikes are sitting there. Now what's missing? Backpackers, tourist buses. These are basically just all Aussies going to work. The ones that are allowed to come into town to go to work under the special quarantine. So I think it's good to see. There's another big building there, that's gone since I retired. Because that sandstone building over there was my old lawyer's office. Ah, well. As I say, it's a never-ending, changing planet. Oh, the sun come out. Isn't that good? See you later. Bye from Mr. Homeroyd. God bless. Take care. Look after yourselves. And if you've got a request, leave me a comment. If you want to go see something. Blue Mountains, Katoomba, Lithgow, Three Sisters, Newcastle, Wollongong, Kiama, Goulburn. I don't know. You tell me. You want me to go look at something? I'll go look at something.